welcome to this very special episode of Focal Length on NewsX World. We're at the 151st Assembly of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, bringing you exclusive insights from Geneva. I'm being joined by a very special guest. With me is Ms. Letitia Saint-Paul. She's a Member of Parliament from France. Thank you so much for taking out time and speaking to us on NewsX World. We're seeing 183 member nations and their representatives gather here for deliberating upon issues that are plaguing humanity at large. I wanted to understand from you, in this context, what is the future of democracy?
Oh, I try to remain optimistic, even if there are many threats against democracy all over the world. I especially work on AI and foreign interferences and NI and cognitive warfare. So there is a real pressure to invade our spirits and to convince our people that democracy isn't the best way to lead a country. So we need to strengthen the collaboration, and I'm convinced of the role of the IPU.
Absolutely. And I also wanted to understand from you, given this platform, how can then we galvanize respect for fundamental human rights?
Maybe you heard our deliberation, and this is France and the United Kingdom created this IPU really based on human rights. You are in Geneva, there is the Red Cross Museum, and saying that this is a key role of parliamentarians. This is to represent our citizens. So we are all convinced of the place of ethics and humanity.
And I want to also understand from you, how's your experience been at the IPU so far?
Sometimes at the beginning, it's quite hard to understand all this organization. As you said, many countries, many different committees. When I first came, it was quite a jungle, but quickly you understand this is an international organization with rules and culture. And I decided to join the I Committee against terrorism and organized crime because my background is on defense and security, because I used to be a French officer within the French army.
Wow.
And so quickly you find the topics where your experience can be useful for all the parliaments, and yes, quickly you work with specialists on your items, and we built really high level reports and advice.
Indeed, you mentioned that your specialty is defense. I'll come to that in a bit. But before that, I'd like to touch upon a very important topic, artificial intelligence. Technology has permeated our lives, including AI, right from children to the elderly. Everybody uses it, maybe from mundane tasks such as to maintain a vegetable list or to do deep research as well. But AI has its drawbacks. There are a lot of concerns regarding this as well. And I wanted to understand from you, how has France adopted AI and how do you think it can benefit governance in France?
So in France, we think at the local scale, the national scale, and the European scale, within the European Union. So we are voting currently, so this is breaking news, the cyber resilience law,
yes,
which is the European Union law. And that's crucial. As I told you, I work for my Foreign Affairs Committee of the French National Assembly on AI and cognitive warfare. So there are different levels, the human beings level and the cyber criminality. And the number of cyber attacks is exploding.
Yes.
Really, that's and AI, especially on that point, this is kind of it can be useful as a shelter, as a I try to find the right word, like a defense.
Yes.
And the research is telling that AI is more efficient in defense than in attack for the questions of cyber security. So this is good news. It means that it's a brilliant tool to cope with it, but at the individual scale, the pressure permitted by AI on our minds with deepfakes is much bigger than an attack, than a tool to face it. And so I know that, like every technology, there is a good side and side effects, like a medal.
A double-edged sword, as you put
Yes.
it rightly. We've recently seen the AI summit take place in France as well. The next edition is going to take place in India in February. I wanted to understand from you, in this context, how is France as a country then embracing AI?
We are embracing AI because it's going to be part of our everyday life, of all of our citizens' life. I'm convinced a revolution like the previous industrial revolutions.
Yes.
And it is one of them, not just an evolution, a revolution, because the cost is collapsing, the quality is much higher, the quantity much higher, and it's in our everyday lives. So you can't pass by.
Absolutely.
And so we are using it, as I say, in all branches of all our ministers. You know, there is this question from education to defense, from Europe to agriculture. So we work on it, we get prepared. We have this energy, nuclear energy that permits to develop our infrastructures.
Absolutely.
So we really want to be prepared and not forgetting the side effects that we talked about.
My next question is a little delicate. I wanted to understand, do you think that artificial intelligence also poses the risk of creating a new digital divide between those who own the hardware and the models and those who do not?
I'm especially thinking about this topic because I'm elected in a rural constituency, you know, quite far from Paris, and I see many elderly that with difficulties with all digital things, and I'm optimistic about that point, you know, because it's like the LLM are like personal assistants. I offer this, you know, eco stuff to my mother-in-law, and I told her, okay, you just have to give orders, you know, for old people. Just okay, please. Can you help me by doing it? Can you give me advice? Can you read it to me? And maybe the digital aspect that we lived the 20 last years created a gap, but maybe this tech will fulfill this gap for those people who feel alone. We face aging of population, but if you just have to talk to the machine to give orders, even if you are going to be blind or and if you are disabled, but it can help. So maybe we mustn't fear this part of AI.
Indeed, and you've mentioned about the European law at large. I wanted to understand what are France's concerns regarding a sort of policy framework for AI?
we feel concerned, and I'm at ease with this law. You know, I compare it with the road code. Is that the right term? You know, on the road there are rules.
Yes, and regulations.
If you drive without rules, there will be car crash.
Yes.
So the idea is to have a kind of similar rule on this topic, but not rules that oblige you to drive only 5 kilometers per hour. You know, rules that avoid car crashes, but not rules that prevent you to use it and drive. Yes. So that is hard to find the right level, but we need to regulate it. Of course, I don't doubt about it.
And speaking about India, since I'm from there and our news channel is headquartered there, you know, India and France enjoy really close ties. Cooperation in the defense industry, as you mentioned before, you've been a part of the armed forces as well in France. That's quite close as well. How is your view of India?
Oh, a nice view of a huge country. As I said, I live in a 500 inhabitants village, and I'm fond of your food. But that's a good start. I'm convinced of diplomacy of the plate, you know, as a French lady. And so I especially know India through your perfect food. And the way you develop engineers to reach a top level. And I heard that you were better than us about promoting science for women. And congratulations, because when you recruit only in 50% of the population, you miss 50% of good experts. So I heard it about your country, so congratulations.
And I also wanted to understand from you, where do you want to see India-France ties headed next? Recently, there was a deal between Safran and DRDO for joint production of jet engines as well. So the ties are really going in a very positive direction on that front.
So I absolutely support. We both represent great countries, and especially to promote peace and in your region. Sometimes it's never easy anywhere, and I hope that the links between the two countries will go further. And I know that my president Emmanuel Macron traveled to India, and that was the best way to say that we are friend countries.
Also, and I'd like to end it on a very light note, since you said you like Indian food. Is there any specific dish that you really enjoy eating?
Butter chicken.
Of course. All right.
And naan. I love bread as a French person, you know, with baguette.
Yes.
So your naan with buttered chicken, the perfect dish.
All right. Thank you so much for taking our time and speaking to us on this very, very special episode of Focal Length. Stay tuned for more such insights on NewsX World as we continue to report from Geneva.